Change makers, and welcome to The Core, sponsored by Red Apple EdCo. This is your Everything Education podcast. We talk about current events, books to read. We interview education leaders, hear their stories, learn from their biggest lessons, and they share what they wish you knew about what it means to be in education today. I'm your host, Dr. Kia Turner. Buckle up for small seeds of inspiration that can lead to big changes in your classroom practice. Let's take a bite out of today's guest. Hi, you guys. It is Dr. Kia here at the Amplify conference in Kansas City this weekend. I just got out of an amazing session where I ran into Miss Tamika Stewart. I was going to say Scott because there's another Tamika here, but she is amazing and has a wealth of experience to bring to the education space. I knew after hearing her speak that I definitely wanted to get her on the vlog. You guys know I use Screencastify Lite. So in 10 minutes or less, we are going to know more about Tamika, and she will tell you how you can hear more from her or keep up with her at the end of the vlog. And I'll do a bio on her. So let's jump right into it. Tell us, you aren't originally from here, right? Where are you from?
I'm originally from New York, born and raised in Long Island, have an educational career from Harlem to Brooklyn.
That is amazing. Yeah. How was it having an educational career that expands kind of more than one place? Do you think that gave you a broader perspective on what impacts students best or what?
Oh, absolutely. I originated from corporate America, so I was a career changer.
Like we work with at the residency.
Yes. So I did notice that about the work that you do. So I agree. I started out in Harlem. I was there for 2 years. I went to Brooklyn, kind of fell in love with the space there, to East Flatbush, to just different parts, East New York, really just spreading my wings in different areas to have a full-blown experience with different populations of students and to serve under different leaders.
Don't you love that? I love that, right? I'm like, fangirling. So when you think about your education experience, the first question I always ask is, why do you teach? And in your case, what is it that causes you to sort of persist in this education space? What's the battery in your back?
The battery in my back is that each day I wake up with this brown face. I'm really passionate about just taking all the experience that I had, whether it's the first time I saw the Nutcracker was through a teacher, or whether it was the first time I had a fine dining experience, it was through school and that experience.
Wow.
Whether one time I got really sick on a retreat and one of my teachers pulled out a credit card and was like, who cares if she has insurance or not? So the impact that school has had on me, just as a person, as a human being, I just have a responsibility to pay that forward.
You had some incredible teachers kind of ushering you through.
Yes, all of my life, from Miss Ford, my kindergarten teacher at Harry Daniels, who stood at the door every day and smiled and welcomed me and sent me to the office to do the announcement. Huge impact on my life.
I love that. So then, too, what is one thing that you're seeing in your practice right now that sort of excites you? You've had a range of experiences. You go to a lot of places. What's something that you're seeing, kind of a wave or a movement rather, that you're like, bring it on. I love this.
So I decided to spread my wings outside of New York City.
People
always ask why. I spent 2 days down in New Orleans just checking out Rooted School. That's all
you
about.
Better.
Yes, all about getting students of color on not just students of color, but students on the path to financial freedom. Out in Boston, with the Up Network, who's really trying to figure out how to take their movement and move that forward. And then more importantly, being here in Kansas City, I've been here since Thursday and just really have an opportunity to be a part of the Kansas City Girl Preparatory Academy experience. It's just really, really amazing. And to be here amongst other Black educators. So I'm really just excited to just continue to visit other states, interact with other people, and just really just keep reminding myself of you can never be a part of the status quo. You can never be a part of just getting caught up in the system. I want to meet millennials. I want to meet Gen Xers.
That's what our session. Our session was just about the benefit every generation brings to the table. I love that.
Yes.
It sounds to me like sort of the wave you're seeing is this student-centered model. So not just thinking learning needs, but thinking about sort of preparing students for the world they're walking into. And that the kind of personalizing the school experience, sort of what happened to you inadvertently, is the thing that you're like, let's give more kids that.
Right.
And I could definitely see how that would be something that kind of jazzed you.
Yeah, not just your generic. We're going to have a student-centered classroom. Empowering students to have their bold voice, to be their authentic self, to challenge the status quo, to challenge us as educators, to question, to really push the bar. And then we as educators have to step up our game to meet this generation where they are. Just taking it to the next level, freedom, liberty, and it's happening at school because they outnumber us, and we need to acknowledge that.
I love that. So number 3, what is one resource you think every educator should know about? Just something that no matter what, you can use this.
I would say, interesting enough, the universe came to mind. The universe, I didn't know that I would be sitting here with Kia, just opening yourself up just to the universe, to the space, and letting your light shine, and people be attracted and drawn into that. And before you know it, you'll be sitting in the back of a seminar, lining it up. Just never know. Be your authentic self. Put your best energy out and your best self out into the universe. And let me tell you, you'll be surprised at what will come back.
I love that. I always say this is hard work that we do. And so then realizing that even on the days it's hard, you are doing this from a place of love, and that given that you are operating from that place, it is going to work out. It's going to be just fine.
And you are not alone.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. Okay. 4, what was your last aha moment as a professional? You thought, wow, I get it. It's all clicking. I see how all of this comes together now. This is amazing.
Yes. Yesterday I was in a day-long interview process, and I'm going to name drop with Tom Krebs.
Dropping the names.
And I had so many aha moments professionally, but even for myself. And it was just a moment that you can never know it all. You can never know enough, because as soon as you think that you do, someone else is going to say something, do something that's going to challenge you to learn more. So I just like to thank Tom Krebs for the many aha moments that I had yesterday, that it's important to continuously educate yourself, be open, and to just keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and knowing that no one is ever the smartest person in the room.
Can you give us, without going too deep in it, just a small example of what that looks like? Like, hey, I thought I had a full understanding of what discipline policy could be.
Got it.
But then I realized, wow, there was more to it. That's it. That general,
Got it. So something as simple as we ended up speaking for about 5 to 7 minutes just on how can we cognitively engage students as they were in a single file line.
You better.
What do you mean, Tom Krebs? I was digging into myself. When you show up for a role at a school, especially in leadership, you kind of go macro and you go 30,000 feet. But when someone takes you deep down into the weeds in that way, it made me realize, guess what? I'm going to have to always be thinking. I'm going to always have to think things through and reach out and depend on him and lean on him. And the greatest thing was that he was in that moment with me. So
that's dope. You got to give him some. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. So then 5, which is one of my favorites, but not my top 2. In a few words, what do you think every educator should know? And I feel like you hit on it a little bit, but just one message you want to push out there to the education community. You shared a resource. Now, what's the mantra?
The mantra is, it comes from the great book, the Bible.
Amen.
Your gift will make room for you.
Your
gift will make room for you, but you have to trust in your faith, trust in yourself, know that everything you need lives within you. For me, that's where the Holy Spirit lives. I move with that. That's why I'm in Kansas City. That's why I'm in New Orleans. And that's a part of why I'm sitting here today. So your gift will make room for you.
I love that. I cannot tell you how many education professionals I've spoken to with a variety of roles who feel so frustrated because they're thinking, I have all of this to give and I can't figure out how to use it. But I hear you saying, A, you need to remember that you're not alone, even in that space. But then 2, you need to remain open to the fact that no matter what, be assured that your gift is going to open the right door for you. And I think that's amazing.
Yes.
If anybody wants to catch up with you or they want to connect with you, they want to make you one of their mentors. If y'all see Bradford Harris, this video, it's coming out this Thursday. I met him in Houston. He's just like, look, you need to mentor him and W.C. Hayes. You need a mentor. So where can they meet you? Where can they connect with you?
Yeah, I think just the easiest, just to do a search for Tamika Stewart.
Look, we got you. We got you. We got you.
On LinkedIn, that's the easiest way to connect.
Okay, so connect on LinkedIn, inbox if you have questions.
Yes.
Follow this woman because she is going places. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. That's all we have for today. Thank you for listening to The Core. Wherever you are listening to us, be sure to like our show, subscribe, and share the episode that's meant the most to you. We appreciate every single one of our subscribers, as do our sponsors. We look forward to seeing you next week. You can also check us out on YouTube at Red Apple Edco if you'd like to see more video of these conversations. We have them posted there.